Hey, welcome to Trap Souls Podcast. I am Ryan. I'm here with Drop Dead Paranormal, Heather and Carissa. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So let's start with the name, Drop Dead Paranormal. Where'd it come from?
Heather?
Um, from tossing a lot of names around. Pulled lots of names, put them in a list, just kept going down, and that one really stuck. And I really wanted to find something that I felt like fit us as a group. And then, from the name decision came the Lady Reaper, and it just all came together.
Oh, you guys made it easy for me of making like the little thumbnail I made because you had some decent pictures out there of the Reaper and the moon, and there's some it takes me like 3 or 4 hours to try to figure some of these out because I go on their Facebook page and they have like one thing on there. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? But you guys made it easy. I appreciate that. Threw a little Kansas background in there for you. So
awesome.
How is Kansas paranormal wise? I mean, I haven't had anybody on from Kansas yet. I don't think so. If I did, I apologize. But I don't think I've had it
going on.
No, it kind of hit the same. I mean, I'm sure they're in there somewhere. We just haven't uncovered them yet. But we kind of in our area kind of hit up the same kind of rotating. We have added a few more on in there this year. So we've got some new ones, but we do have our ones that we hit up regularly.
So Kansas as a state, I think farmland, tornadoes. I mean, that's what I think of when I think of Kansas. Is that most of the state that way?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not making fun of Kansas. I just, because you said there's not many places, so I'm thinking just a lot of spread out areas.
So in our local area, so Heather and me are a little bit different. She really likes to go to some of the well-known places, and I do too. We all love that, but I also really love our local establishments and just kind of mom and pop places, businesses, homes. Those are my favorite. But Heather has us really branching out this coming year and getting out of our little circle, because we hit Atchison. Atchison's supposed to be like one of the most haunted cities in the United States, and Garnett, Kansas. And then some of our local things here that we get to do, some things that we can't talk about. But
yeah, no, I understand that. So how far are you guys going to branch out next year?
We are going to Ashmore Estates and Malvern Manor. So a little further out. These will probably be, outside of, I can't remember how long Missouri State Penitentiary was probably another one that was a little bit of a drive for us. And I think Ashmore will probably be our longest. I think that's, God, I looked all
the 9 or the 14.
Oh, no. Those are, we were looking at Trans-Allegheny with Scott from Ghostlight, but then also Waverly. I was like, why are we going all the way to Trans-Allegheny? This is 14 hours. We can go to Waverly and it's 9.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say probably Ashmore upcoming is going to be our biggest trek that we've done so far.
Ashmore is about 7 hours from me. I believe it's about 7 because we're looking at doing a trip to Indiana next year, and our plan is to do Billy Creek Village, then Indiana State Sanitarium, back-to-back nights. Still waiting for their schedule to come out. I'm like, if they don't open up, we got Ashmore State right there, so an hour away from there.
Heck yeah.
If I was you, I'd go hit Waverly, Old Hospital on College Hill, then Trans-Allegheny. They're right in the line.
That sounds like a whole like week-long trek that we would really have to plan for.
Oh, it is. We did a week-long last year. We did 6 places in 5 nights.
Wow.
Don't do that ever. Don't ever do that.
I wish. I've got a little one and my husband's a truck driver, so it kind of makes it hard during a week to branch out too much. Now, if I plan far enough ahead, I could maybe make it happen. But yeah, that would be a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, let's talk about like family and paranormal. I mean, it's not brought up a lot, but it's a lot trying to plan stuff around family, especially like my wife is not into this stuff. So she's like, hey, let's go do this. And she's like, oh, you're doing that again? Which, she's not into it. I'm fine with that. And she's fine with me doing it, I think. But yeah, it's hard planning. How many people are in your group?
We have 3. Right
So,
now. Yep.
So that's not bad. I mean, I had 7 in mine. I think I still do. It's hard to get everybody together with work and family.
It really is, especially if you're taking, time off work and that kind of stuff, because we all work for the same company, but different departments. So some are busier than others certain times a year. So it's just, it can be a little challenging, but we seem to make it work.
Yeah, we burned through our PTO very well with this.
Yeah, I mean, the one guy that I do this with, he went to a different shift, totally opposite of me. So now, like our vacations, it's hard to plan. But we got a couple weeks off together this year, so we can hopefully hit some stuff. So we're going to Indiana. I'm trying to convince his wife ain't watching, I don't think. So I asked his wife, who's part of the group, that if Craig can go with me on a trip this year, and she said, yeah. Little does she know that I want to go to the UK. She will kill him if we went to the UK without her, because she loves the paranormal. But I just don't think we tell her till we get back. So, I mean, I think it'll work out.
Oopsie.
That's a danger zone right there.
That's not my wife, Who's on? Yeah, Angie Mapes. Angie and
Hi, Miss Angie.
And anime. Anime's always on. Donna's always on. Not complaining. Anime is my ginger sister, I guess. I never met her, but we had a little ginger talk last time. So, all right. So let's get into some paranormal stuff here. What are the hot spots out there for you? Like, you guys hit a lot of the same spots. Like, what's the one spot? If I'm coming out to Kansas, what's the one spot I have to go to?
I mean, yeah, it's such a close, because there's 3 spots in my mind that have like their own unique qualities that make them so special, and that have been super active when we've went dang near every single time. It's like a little love triangle between Garnett, Sleeper, and the Villa, McIntyre Villa. In my mind, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Garnett's popular. I've heard of it. So, I mean, Garnett's just a house, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be a hotel for a really long time. Started out as a residential spot, though, when it was first built. I mean, 1858, right? So we're talking lots of history. A photography studio, a jail,
doctor's office.
Doctor's office was the last thing that it was. So yeah, it's seen a lot. It was part of the Underground Railroad. It's got where you could see where the tunnel was downstairs in the basement. Like, it's packed full of history. But it's a house. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or so rooms on the first floor, and 4 or 5-ish on the second. So it's pretty good size.
So what makes it haunted?
What doesn't make it haunted?
We have Madison Seminary up here. It's right down the street from me. And the attic is what makes Madison Seminary. Because you have the doctor up there that did very bad things and very not nice to women up there. So that's what makes it, in my opinion, a very good paranormal investigation. Is there like one spirit at the Garnett house that sticks out above everybody else?
Mm-hmm. We have yet to figure out. I mean, that's I think the most intriguing part about Garnett and what keeps like drawing you back. And I mean, really it could be with any location too, like for other investigators. But for me, for us, I feel like the more we go, the more we find out answers. So there's a particular entity that is called the Grinner there. He's been seen a few times throughout the house. He is very tall, has somebody painted a picture of him where they saw him in the house at one point, and he has long fingers. He has a big grin. He's just very creepy looking. They've also seen him in the form of like a goat. Yeah, he's haven't quite figured out what he is yet. I have some theories. I don't know if he was brought there or if it was just something that kind of, I mean, 1858, so a lot of history, a lot of dark history when it comes to, I mean, there was a freed slave that lived in the attic of that house for the original owner, or the guy who built it, and he murdered a woman across the street with an axe, and then
Allegedly,
and then came back on upstairs too because he used to stay in the attic, and then they ended up hanging him for that crime, and so I don't know if it's something else that's just gravitated toward like the darker things that have happened at that house throughout time, or what he is, but we're finding out little by little. I feel like you find out more and more.
Like you're talking like goat and stuff, and I'm not going to use the word that everybody uses when they say that type of stuff. But do you think it's just an entity that was non-human?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's possible. It's just that there are some recurring spirits that we converse with when we're there. We don't know if for sure. We think David is the grinner when David comes through, and David often, sometimes he could be super conversational, but other times when he comes through, he just gets really nasty really quick. And then John was the name of that person who was accused of killing Adeline, and we get that name that's come through a lot. And then Heather saw upstairs that cowboy shadow figure, and it was in what's called the cowboy room. And he, she could tell that story, but so I just feel like we get some of those real recurring spirits. And just like any place, sometimes you might go and the activity level feels kind of, lower. You have to really kind of work for it. And sometimes you walk in there and they'll start in with you before you can even set a piece of equipment up. So
Mm-hmm. Garnett is known really too for the location where objects are moved regularly. Justin he's got dolls and ping pong balls and all sorts of stuff around the house. And, some of them have sat there for weeks. And then all of a sudden, for no rhyme or reason, it'll just bloop and topple right over. I've had a moment where we popped out for a quick second. We were there for a couple nights and popped out to get some air. And I asked for a particular doll to fall and come back in. And there it was on the ground. So that's always a lot of fun.
I mean, it seems kind of cool because you guys go there a decent amount of times, but you like the spirits know you and you know the spirits.
Yeah, definitely.
That's one of the good things about going back to, it can get boring doing the same thing over and over and over. But on the other end, it's kind of neat that you're like, hey, Heather's here. Sweet. Let's make this doll fall off,
And you almost need, because you can't go to a location just once or twice and figure it all out and know, so you really are like feels like we're peeling back layers. And we converse regularly with Ashley with Pin Paranormal. She loves going there too. And it's so fun to compare stuff that she's got and then what we've got, and you can kind of build on that and converse with theories and who this might be or what happened here. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I've watched every Garnett video out there from any paranormal team who's ever gone.
Mm-hmm. It's
So,
so fun to see stuff that like they pick up on and you're like, we got that too, or something similar. So
yeah, especially if someone's just going there, like people go to Waverly just once just to say they did it, and then they have something that happened to you guys a few times, and they might say, "Did this really happen?" And you're like, "Yeah, this happens all the time." So you just confirm to them, "Yes, stuff there happens." As a paranormal group, you're out there trying to get answers,
right,
and that's what you're doing at the Garnett House. So. Cool. I mean, we go to Waverly. I've never been to Waverly. I've been to Trans-Allegheny twice, but you go to those big places kind of just to say you did them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just to step foot. I mean, that's the fun part too about paranormal is just the history.
Yeah.
That's like when we went to the Missouri State Penitentiary, just being in there and immersing yourself in what they may have experienced. Being in that prison, it's just crazy. I mean, you could sit in the gas chamber, for God's sakes, in the same chairs where they sat, walk that same walk that they did. It's crazy. I have to jump in chat really fast and let Angie know. Angie, I will be there on Black Friday too. And Penny investigated, and her group investigated with me over at the Masonic Temple in Leavenworth. Hi, Penny.
Oh, during the Paracon.
Yeah. Yep, and they're going to Garnett too. Yay! More Garnett peeps.
No, I think it's cool what you guys are doing out there. I mean, I'm a big believer every group should have their spot. I mean, I have Madison. I've done it 13 times right now, and it's fun. But to go out, like you said, history-wise, like the step in a Trans-Allegheny is just unbelievable. Ohio State Reformatory, unbelievable place, cool history. I got absolutely nothing there. It was boring. Paranormal wise, but to see the history, it was cool. It was worth the trip.
Yeah, definitely. Just to check it off the bucket list.
A lot of people ask why you do this, and it's not all about the paranormal. It's about the history too. Like we go out there, and if I wasn't doing this, I'd just be sitting at home doing nothing. So
yes,
it gets you out and a little bit social, I guess. Even though we just talk to dead people, it's fine.
Sometimes they're the best people to talk to.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Sorry, I'm just reading comments too.
No, yeah, you're good. Yeah, we're doing a Black Friday event over at the Garnett House. It's advertised as blackout, right, for Black Friday. So the idea is we're not going to have any lights. It's just going to be dark the entire time, which thankfully I've been in it half a dozen times, so I should remember the layout by heart, by now. So we'll see.
So do you believe in flashlights or no flashlights?
I mean, you got to have a little bit just to kind of get yourself set up, but then we do like to go dark.
Okay. I'm a no flashlight. I mean, yeah, safety wise, like you don't want to be falling downstairs or hitting coffee tables or whatever. But once you're settled, I really do love sitting in the dark. It's peaceful until something touches you, then it's not. But,
or you hear a nice little whisper right behind you. You're like,
oh, your name called. It's great.
Right.
Yeah, Angie, Trans-Allegheny is awesome. It's probably one of my favorite places to go. I've been there twice. It's just, they do a very good job there. I tell everybody on my podcast, if you want to go a popular place, Trans-Allegheny is where to go. They do 10 people per floor, and it's 9 acres of flooring. So it's one of those places you do not have to rent out privately because it's outrageously expensive.
Yeah. That's another thing. Gosh, can we talk about that? How expensive places are. My gosh. We do so much more if they weren't, which I get it. Like you gotta pay for the building. You got bills to pay, right? But
yeah. I mean, that's the big thing right now to talk about is like, but majority of these owners, I've had a few on the show that what they get from us is what they put back in the building.
Yep.
We're talking like old hospital on College Hill. I mean, that place is old. That's the reason why it's called that. But, they bought it just to keep the building from not being torn down. No desire for paranormal. And all of a sudden, it's paranormal hotspot.
Mm-hmm.
But, they don't live like kings. They have to make a living, obviously, but a lot of that money goes back in. But nowadays, it's becoming a business.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You have people buying stuff that really don't care about the paranormal, that just want the business.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys seeing that out there more? Like, because out in Ohio, Pennsylvania, there's places popping up everywhere now. And it's hard to tell, are they doing it just to get the money saying it's paranormal, or is it actually paranormal?
Right. Yeah, I don't think I have seen anything particular. I've heard of different places, but I don't think we've ever experienced it firsthand.
Well, we won't name the place, but I
Yeah.
remember what you told me about the gentleman that you called, and I think it was on his website. It's like, oh yeah, we're just, make a donation, and then you make an offer, and they're like, no, that's not enough. I'm like, okay, well, just set a price then, okay?
I forgot about that one. That one was
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we just take donation. Well, here's a donation because I've never been, I don't know, whatever. And he's like, that's a really small donation. I'm like, well, then forget you.
It's a lot of money to me.
Donation's a donation. Like,
Exactly. Do you want it or not? Because we might continue to come back, continue to donate.
no, I mean, I'll give a little shout out to the Das House. I haven't been out there yet. I'm going next week. They're in Pennsylvania. It's a newer paranormal spot, and they do it right. I mean, they do a lot of free investigations.
Mm-hmm.
Come check it out. Just promote me a little bit. And the two ladies just are having fun, and they're not trying to make a living off this place. I bought an investigation for next week last month, and they're giving me a free investigation next year there.
Oh,
I mean, I'm gonna donate money, but
that's honestly a lot like Justin's mentality at Garnett. If he had it his way and he had, unlimited funds, he wouldn't charge people a dime to come investigate, because he loves the paranormal that much and he wants other people to experience it too.
yeah, and they're keeping a history alive. And that's what it's about.
Yep, absolutely.
We honestly work with amazing, amazing owners. Justin's amazing. Stephanie at McIntyre Villa, Tori at Sleeper. I mean, these folks are for real. Yeah, they are. They're top notch. Like, we could talk about them all night and it would be good.
No, the owners of these places are amazing. I mean, to me, I always tell them, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'd be going to some graveyards and doing this. But
Right.
We do that too.
we'll talk about graveyards in a second. But they always come back and say, well, if it wasn't for you, then we wouldn't be able to do this too. So it goes vice versa.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about graveyards then. I'm not a big believer graveyards are haunted. Sorry.
Mm.
Chris is giving me the mean eye here.
Oh, no. Come to Topeka. We'll take you. You will change your mind like that.
That's what everybody says. Like, I'll prove it to you. But this is my theory. If I died, I'm not hanging out at a graveyard.
Well, who says they're hanging out and they're not just like, they don't have some way to just pop in? Who's not to say they just like come in and come out?
What are they coming to see? A dead body?
I guess. I don't know. Well, that's the beautiful part. We don't know.
I mean, they know where they're buried. They know where they're buried. I think the spirit world has, a pulse on, things that's connected to them. I mean, we did a whole event at the Topeka Cemetery here where we were with this other lady. I don't want to drop names, but she was, trying to find certain Civil War soldiers. And so we visited one time for that. And then Ghostlight Paranormal ended up having an event on the same night that we were returning to the pet cemetery, because the owner was like, look, We don't let our employees go down there alone. They're constantly hearing growls. They're constantly seeing shadow figures. And that is another place that was just, believe it or it was popping. I mean, it was amazing.
I mean, you set your dead bell out in the middle of the, an open area where there's no power lines, there's nothing that, could possibly trigger it, and it's just going nuts. Like, it just doesn't make sense, So there's got to be something.
Yeah, I mean, the more I do this, the more I think, yes, I believe stuff is attached to certain places or connected. I won't say connected to certain places or certain things. But I also believe that if you ask, people are going to ask enough questions, spirits are going to come because they want to be heard too.
Definitely.
So, I mean, that is possible. That's possible with cemeteries too. People are going there asking questions, and it's their time to give some answers. Like, I want to be heard too. So,
Well, and our other person, Mindy, she was a paramedic. And I think that I think she has company, a lot of company all the time. Like spirits, like
attachments, or just spirits are like, hey, I'm here.
I don't know if I would want to call them attachments, but one of the undisclosed locations that we went to, there were some spirits that came through that had been her patients on ambulance runs that had passed away. And there was a lot of really specific information that came along with it. I think I can say all that, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's cool. I mean, hopefully they're coming back and like thanking her for what she did. I mean,
yeah.
Cemetery was my first.
It's almost like, do you think? I just had this thought. What if we hear about portals, right? Usually you hear about in like places like, oh, in this particular room, there's a portal. What if maybe not every time, but what if when you're investigating, sometimes you're opening up kind of your own portal that has some sort of connection to the other side, to another dimension. You know what I mean? Like when you're opening yourself up. Am I just talking crazy? I don't know. It's just not.
Oh, you're making me think now.
What if you open that up and then that allows, maybe spirits that aren't necessarily in the cemetery, but it's like they're wherever they are and they see this humongous, I don't know, they see this humongous hole that they're just like, wonder what's going on in here. Oh, they're talking to us. Hey guys, come over here. They're talking to us over here. They can hear us, like what if that's what's happening?
Like a portal attachment to yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it attachment though either. Just like you're opening up that communication, and so it's like opening up something on the other side that allows gives spirit some sort of like notification. I don't know. I say notification like they're getting a ring on their phone or something, but yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean it's totally possible because, I mean, I don't know, because I always say like the Ross house here it's haunted, but you get a lot of stuff from the outside city, like the coal mine explosions and everything. Why are these coal miners that died 5 miles away coming to the Ross house? It's because people are at the Ross house asking questions.
Yep.
That's the only reason why. And I always tell people at my work, like, well, would you buy a haunted house? I'd love to own a haunted cabin in the woods. That's my dream. Okay. And I'm a big believer that if you ask enough questions, you can make any place haunted.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you just sit there and ask questions. Hey, why are you doing, I believe spirits will come because they want to be heard. That's my theory. We will never know, but I don't want to try that at my house. But
they've had plenty. I forget what that. I wish my memory. It's like their little bits and pieces, but the exact names, right? So they did that experiment years ago where they like created a haunting, right? I 100% think that is, you could do that. Your mind is so powerful. You can create crazy stuff without even really knowing, you know?
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna bring up these two words and see what your thoughts of it. Ley lines.
Makes me think of Ghostbusters.
Oh, yay or nay?
I don't know. I don't know if I've given that much thought.
I haven't.
Wow, two paranormal investigators thinking about ley lines.
Hey, we can't know everything, right? Okay, we got to learn some stuff too. So teach us.
The biggest hoax I believe there is in the paranormal world.
Okay.
That's my theory on it. A lot of people say that their energy rivers or transports. Some scientists made this crap up. That's my philosophy. And I don't know, people are watching, disagree with me. That's fine. That's why we're here. But if you connect the pyramids to something in Rome, two historical places create a ley line because it creates a straight line, right? That's what his theory is. Can you pick 2 points anywhere in the world and make a straight line? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. So why?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I'm really thinking about it. It's an interesting thought, but as of right now, I'm not convinced.
No.
I just picture like spirits jumping on a train and traveling. Like what I picture is like Finding Nemo. When they jump into the top, whatever you call it.
With all the turtles?
Yeah, that's what I picture ley lines as. Like, hey, come on. Okay, sweet. The current.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We'll leave him in Ghostbusters.
Angie, what are your thoughts on it? Try to get some people in here. Donna's always on, but she never asks a question.
Humans equals bull.
There you go.
I think the biggest issue. Oh, yeah, they're all the same stuff. Do you guys plan on going bigger as a group, or?
Probably not too big. We do like the smaller, more intimate settings, group sizes. We do have, so how this kind of all started was in my department that I was in, I got tired of asking the same girls over and over again. And I'm sure they were tired of me asking all the time, come on, let's go ghost hunting. And you're like, oh, Heather, God, here she goes again, right? So we have these groups at our job that's called ERGs, or employee run groups. You can create them. We have like a little chat. And I'm like, I bet you there's more spooky people in our group of, 900 plus employees. It's just not a conversation that you just randomly bring up. Hey, do you like ghosts? And they're like, no. So I created this group called That's the Spirit and started gathering people in. And so we use that group to have like bigger investigations. I usually do a couple of events per year with that group that we then attend and kind of help navigate, because a lot of them, we have a lot of regulars that have come since I've started it, but every now and then we'll have some new people that have never ghost hunted before, so we kind of help lead them, and those are usually like 10 to 15 people, and so those are kind of our bigger groups, so we like to keep this one more on the small side.
That's fine. You guys collaborate a lot with other groups then, or?
Have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been doing quite a bit, and are actually going to pair up with a couple new people next year. Hope to be more too. We met. I ICT Paranormal at our latest investigation over at Beatty Mansion. And we're hoping to connect with them again in February at the Brown Mansion. Hopefully that ends up working out. We're still in works with that. But then Ashmore, we're getting together with Patriot Paranormal. So we've never investigated with them before. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, so my group's 7 people. It's been hard to try to find. I like doing this. My kids are older, so it's easier for me to get away, not so much for them. So I kind of just started collaborating with a whole bunch of people. I mean, it's been great. I never really thought, because let's be honest, there's some, I don't want to say weird. There's some weird people out in the paranormal field. Yeah. I mean, you do have to be careful, just like life. Mm-hmm. You're going to go into an undisclosed dark location, people you never met before.
Right. So,
I mean, you got to be careful what you do. But luckily, the groups I've had work with have been great. So I actually enjoy collaborating. A lot of stuff I do now is by myself with other groups. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, go do that. Like, especially if you're 1 or 2. As we talked, it's expensive. Mm-hmm. What's just as expensive is the equipment. Like, you don't know what you want to buy. So collaborate with somebody. They might have some equipment that you never used before. And you can be like, yeah, that's not for me, or this is really cool. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to go home and buy it for $400. So.
Right. Yeah. God, it's so expensive.
It is, but it's a fun hobby. And I always tell people, this is a hobby. And some people get mad at that. No, it's a lifestyle. No, it's a hobby. But
definitely.
So equipment-wise, what's your go-to? Like, what do you guys like using?
Well, I've always loved our dead bell, and I really like our tripwires.
Tripwire.
Mm-hmm.
2 famous things now.
Yeah. I remember seeing, God, who used it first? I think I was watching a twin paranormal video maybe or something like that on YouTube, and saw the dead bell. I was like, I need that right away. I was like, that is so cool. And I think the spirits love it too. We get so much interaction on that and a lot of intelligent stuff too. It's a lot of fun. And just the tripwire is just great too.
Yeah, someone just posted something about the dead bell today. You know, you believe it or don't believe in it. A lot of people don't. It is very sensitive. I know that much. Mm-hmm. You do have to be very careful. If you're like 10 feet away and you're on live Facebook, it will set it off. So just people that, not you, I'm talking to everybody out there.
Yeah.
I'll just be careful. But just like anything you use, it's always good to have 2 pieces of equipment to verify what you're doing. Different types of equipment, like motion sensor, EVP, dead bell. People that use apps. I'm not a big fan of them. Anything that's hooked up to the internet or your phone, I mean, they're like, oh, it's an airplane mode. It's still a smartphone. Still has memory. But could you create an app and just create words and just have it spit out randomly for no reason? Mm-hmm. And people are going to believe it's real because we know what people are asking, right? Like behind you. Like, what? Oh, my God. You know, stuff like that.
Well, we know that your phones listen to you all the time. Yeah. You can talk about something and then you see an ad for the same thing you were just talking about, you know. So who knows? Like so on that subject, how do you feel about the Ovilus?
So I have a Periscript. I think it was outrageously expensive. Not outrageous. It was expensive. I've used it twice and I've had it for like a year. So obvious, same concept. Yeah, I think all the like those tools, apps and everything, they're good starters. Mm-hmm. Again, I think you have to have something else to back it up personally. What are people using now? The necrophiliac or whatever it's called?
Necrometer.
Yeah.
Necrophiliac, that's a bad word. I don't know.
Which we like that one a lot more than Spirit Talker. I feel like Spirit Talker we've used, we used at first because it was free, and then some things that would come through would make sense to what like we were talking about, and then other things were just like whatever. I live in the forest. I'm like, there is no forest.
I mean, but you can spin it around here. But you can spin anything, right? Because like people are talking like, "What's your name?" It goes outside. Oh, you outside? Like, no, it's just spinning words out. But I think it's a good starter conversation.
Yes. Yeah, that is one thing that I do like, because sometimes it's hard to think of things to ask, things to say, whatever. So that can help help you think of things to bring up conversation, which then can in turn make other things happen. If you've got other equipment around, it can make that active, Yeah.
Yeah. I always tell people like sensitives and mediums. Again, a good starter, I think. You walk in a room, you feel something. Okay, now let's break out some equipment. I can't vouch that you see a little girl in the corner because I can't see the little girl in the corner. So let's break out something. I always say, get a recorder. If you get a little girl on the recorder saying hi, cool. Like, that was because of you. Cat balls. I mean, you got to love cat balls. Mm-hmm. You have to.
Yep.
They're the simplest thing besides a digital recorder that you're going to have.
Cheap.
Flashlights.
Flashlights? No, I don't know. Oh, you're talking like the flashlight?
Mag lights.
Mag lights, yeah. Okay. I thought you meant I hate flashlights, but
we investigate in the dark around here.
Yeah. I got bruises all over my shins. No. Mag lights I was a little iffy about. I did a Shanley Hotel with Verona Ghost Chasers, and they did it, and I'm impressed with it. So do you think, okay, we'll ask this because this was brought up before. Do you think the spirits turn them on like by turning them? Or do you think they go in between the contact to turn them on?
That's what I think.
Energy, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
There's so many people out there like, no, they're turning them. I'm like, they're not turning them. Like,
no.
It's possible. But I've never seen a flashlight.
It'd have to be really strong to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying it's impossible, just saying they'd have to be something.
That would take a lot of energy.
Yes.
I think more so than making contact.
Yes.
And any spirits out there are listening, I'd rather you come up and smack me than turn a flashlight. That's better for me. So no, I mean, mag lights are cool. We did SS method at Shannon Hotel, and this kind of got me. It was cool. So I was up there doing a solo for like 50 minutes. There's this foam dice. I threw it down the hallway, forgot about it. About 5 hours later, we went to go do an SS meth up there. Then I'm like, hey, what does that dice say in the hallway? And Nacho's like 10 seconds later, he goes 5. I'm like, I don't know. So I walked over there with my camera, number 5 on it. So I'm like, text him today. I'm like, we gotta get some foam dice. I'm like, yeah, we gotta get some dice here. He's like, I ordered one yesterday. I'm like, oh, hey, sweet. But,
yeah, we love the Estes method too. That's definitely one of my go-tos.
So do you have certain people you can trust with it and certain people you can't? Not trust, but that's a bad word, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit box is hard to understand.
It is.
Yeah. I don't think we've had really anybody that I can think of, because you can tell when somebody gets in and they're like, I don't know what the hell they're saying. They'll get a few things but I don't think I've ever witnessed anybody doing it. And I'm like, oh, they're full of it. They're just making things up. They're not. Everybody that we've seen do it, that's been in our that's the spirit or in our direct group or just in the little, investigations we've paired with other teams on. I've seen people really, really try to listen and hone in on, what they're hearing. Where it gets tricky is when you start questioning yourself and what you heard. So you just, even if you're like, it makes 0 sense, you just say it.
Yeah. And I think that's what you got to get over is like when you're under, it doesn't make sense to you, but it could make sense to the people asking the questions.
Absolutely.
Because it's like I don't want to say that. It sounds stupid. I've said it, and then you hear them laughing, like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Oh my!" I'm like, I don't know what just happened because I'm just talking. But no, Estes method is. I think Spirit Box and Estes method are like the go-to when stuff's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of gives them a way to communicate. Like if they're having trouble with the equipment that you have out or whatever it may be, or don't have enough energy, but have enough energy to go over and say something to you.
Honestly, I like Estes even when things are popping, just because it's the one way that you could really drill down information when things are really happening. And with equipment, it's great. Like, hey, if you can understand me, can you set that off? Can you do it again? See if it's intelligent, see if it's on command, and if they're willing. But with Estes, you can really drill down into a conversation and go so much further than just, hey, confirming, yeah, there's a spirit here.
Yeah. Have you guys ever done double Estes method?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
It was really cool, actually. I was just going down memory lane with some videos that we posted on our YouTube we did a dual investigation event between Sleeper Mortuary and the McIntyre Villa. And Mindy and we were at the villa with Fright Night, and Mindy and I were back to back doing Estes, and it was fun to listen to us kind of play off one another. And even people that were sitting watching were catching on. They're like, oh my god, they're like finishing each other's sentences, and then she might say something that's in connection here. So yeah, that's a lot of fun and very interesting to compare.
yeah, I mean,
We had 3 doubles that night. So Mindy and Heather, and then the 2 guys from Fright Night, and then Stephanie and Tori, the 2 owners of each location.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun.
have you guys like split up in different rooms and done double Estes?
Yeah, I think so, haven't we?
At Garnett.
Yeah, that's right. You and I noticed too, Ryan, I've really been trying to pay attention to when we do Estes, asking questions. Sometimes you won't get, or a lot of the time you won't get an immediate answer. It's 5 questions down the line that you're getting your answer, or a few questions at least down the line, which you always try to like ask a question, but then, you get into it and you don't necessarily leave the time in between to really get. So I've even listening back to like our old videos and some, recordings and stuff. I'm like, there's the answer, right there. It's really interesting.
Got to like treat it like a EVP session.
Yeah.
Give that break. And so we do Madison Seminary a lot. And when we go to Madison is when we take people that never done investigations before. We have equipment. I've been doing this for years. So sorry. That's one of the things, like they always want the EVPs. EVPs are awesome, but you don't know about them until 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm still doing EVPs from a month ago. So I'm still today trying to listen to them. But I mean, it's just when we take people that I'm going over EVP session, it's like nonstop questions.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear someone talking like a spirit, EVP, but someone else is talking over them. That's one thing. I guess paranormal world, patience. You need patience. Yeah. I mean, you have 10 hours to investigate a house. Take your time.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I was bad at it. Madison Seminary, first few times I'm running through that place, investigating. 9 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I still got 5 more hours of this place, 6 more hours, but I'm cashed out already. I've hit every spot.
Do you ever try to do anything to like amp up the energy a little bit? I mean, we have dance parties sometimes. Sometimes it works.
That would scare everything away.
Ryan's like, I am not dancing.
That's Nacho's thing. No, definitely. We're gonna play games at Madison. I actually have a big event coming up on the 5th. It's called what I call it, Nacho? Oh, the Fellowship of the Spirits. That's right. Little nerd out of Lord of the Rings.
I'm not dancing.
I'm not dancing.
Come on.
No, it's Fellowship of Spirits. I think I have 6 or 7 groups coming to Madison Seminary,
Wow.
and we're just gonna have a good time. A lot of these groups have not investigated with me. Some have. Yeah, they're Fellowship of the Spirits. I do love playing games.
Mhm.
I am a big Project Fear fan because I love how they're just friends having a good time,
Mhm.
and that's what it's supposed to be about.
Yep.
Exactly.
My games make me not have friends sometimes. So
Ryan, I think you and I would get along great because every time we do bigger investigations, especially with That's the Spirit, I'm like, guys, we're going to go in the darkest parts of the house and play hide and seek. They're like, no, we're not doing that. Or you give them trivia. That's the thing. If you really love everybody that you're with, you, in the very beginning of the investigation, you read off all the history. And then later, at 2 a.m., you quiz them on it. And then if they get it wrong, they have to go in the basement by themselves for 5 minutes.
so I'll quick. This is what I'm doing. I've done this before. So it's beer pong without beer. It's water in there. You throw the ping pong ball. Whatever it lands in, you look at the bottom of the cup. There's a number. I have a list. You may win a hat or a shirt, or you may win a solo locked in the attic. It's a crapshoot.
So not even just go into the attic. He said locked in the attic.
Oh yeah, we're locked in. We're locked in. It's a half hour in the attic. It's just not that bad. But then I decided to put a twist on it. I'm having, I think, 10 play cards. 7 are going to be blank. 3 are going to have words on it. One's blindfold. One's handcuffed. One's handcuffed and blindfolded.
Sounds like what we did to poor Mindy.
You better be with people that you trust very much.
Yeah, definitely.
I am an honest person. Like if I say half hour, it's going to be a half hour. I'm not going to leave you up there. If you start screaming, I'm probably coming up. Nacho, if you start screaming, I'm coming up. But I do like playing games. I think pushing your limits and being uncomfortable is part of it. The paranormal world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of like we go to haunted places and hey, go in this room. No. People tell me no. Like you're not even stepping to the threshold. Like you're just telling me no straight out.
Got to challenge yourself.
You do. And I always tell people, you go to the threshold of the door, you sit there for 30 seconds. If you feel like you can go farther, go farther. If not, back up. That's fine. You tried. That's all I care about.
Right.
Nacho's going to get handcuffed in the grave room. No.
Yeah, we stuck Mindy in the basement of the McIntyre Villa on a live for, what did we do, Chris? Hour?
I think it was 30.
30 to an hour, somewhere in there, and she was handcuffed and on a live, and all she had was a little a battery operated candle as her light. We were nice. She had the live to talk to, so she had a little company, but yeah, it was very uncomfortable for her, but she crushed it.
I was told that about solos is if you do a live, you don't feel solo.
That's true. That's true.
So.
Do you feel like now that you've been doing this longer, though? I mean, I can't say that I can't get uncomfortable. Sure, things can happen, but I don't know. It would take a lot more now to make me feel like, oh, like I'm scared, or it's not like it was in the beginning.
No, I mean, I think you can still get that feeling when you walk into a room and it feels heavy.
Yeah, for sure. But just to be scared or to be, if we get told run, like no.
No, I don't. I'm hoping I get that feeling again of like fear. Always a little fear sometimes, but I'm a solo basement freak. I love it. I mean, I was in the Ross house doing a solo and a shadow walked by me. And I was like, hey, a
Very
shadow
cool.
just walked by me. Like, I didn't care. Like, a shadow walked by me, sweet. Of course, the camera's on my ugly mug and not pointed over there where the shadow was.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Always that way.
But, yeah, we talked about this before on other podcasts. Like, 20 years in now, what's it going to take to, like, for you to be like, take a step back and say, wow, that was kind of freaky. I don't want to do this anymore. Have you guys ever had an experience starting out that you maybe like, maybe I got myself into a little too deep?
Not yet.
Mm-mm. No, if anything, thinking back to my very first investigation at the McIntyre Villa back in 2020, I was terrified. I knew nothing. Didn't help too that I was with a bunch of other girls that had never done it either. So, but that all that did was make me more curious. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. It was, when are we going back? We should go back.
No, I mean, I think the more you get into it, the more comfortable you're going to get. But I do believe fear does draw out spirits too. So,
100%.
I think you need that balance.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's when you just bring bait.
Bring bait, somebody that's a little bit more jumpy.
Yeah, like Belle.
Or
Yeah,
Heather Wilson.
we
love you, ladies.
We got Sarah in my group. She's scared of everything. She's pushing herself. She's an unbelievable investigator when she gets comfortable, but the girl's scared. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know she can do it, so I will push her. But there's times like she might beat me up. So I kind of just she's pretty strong. Let's talk about paranormal. See you, Nacho. Have a good one, man. Let's talk about paranormal hangovers. Real or not real?
Very real.
It's real. Yeah. Not
Like-
only are you like you're staying up all night and you're sleeping like crap, so then you're tired anyways, but I feel like you exert a lot of energy just being there sometimes at particular locations where you can feel groggy as hell for the next, 2-3 days.
You think it's just more mentally drained?
Both.
Yeah.
Mental, physical.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of depends.
Because I don't get too much, but I know a lot of people do. You could get mentally effed up on some of these places.
Oh yeah.
I've had one of my group members, like, they sent her home from work for a week after one investigation. Yeah, she was messed up. And I was like, asked her husband, because he works with me, I'm like, is it because? He's like, I think so. So, but she faced her fear and we went back there. So
good for her.
Yeah.
she wanted to. Like, she's scared of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to push her and she does nothing to do with it. But that place, she wanted to go back like the next day. Like, she was angry. Like, no, this thing's not beating me type thing.
Good.
So what do I do? What do I do when we get down there? Send her on solo. I mean, that's
Face your fear. Look it straight in the face.
she made it to the first room. That was it.
Oh no.
She wouldn't go any farther.
Dang it.
My great idea, I'm like, Sarah, go in there and you two can go in. Yeah, they didn't make it past the first room. So
Aw.
But
Yeah, for me personally, I don't think I've ever been kind of like down and out longer than maybe a day and a half ish. I kind of have groggy brain maybe for the next couple days or so, but I usually bounce back pretty quick. But it's just mainly it depends on where you're sleeping and stuff too. Really can really take a toll on your body, especially getting a little older.
And you're not even there yet, girl.
What's up? What's up, Texas? Yeah, I don't sleep much, so I don't get it. Like, I just did Shanley Hotel, and I was there with Nacho. It was about a 7-hour drive. I worked night shift, slept an hour and a half, 2 hours, drove 7 hours, investigated all night, took a 45-minute nap on some uncomfortable, golly 1850s chair. drove 7 hours back. I think I slept 2.5 hours, then went to work for 12 hours.
Oh,
Jeez
no.
Louise. Nope.
Oh no, sir. No, no. we gotta have more sleep in between there.
I don't. But I work a lot of hours, so I try to not let my work affect me.
Yeah. I
So-
do. I've been known, I feel like, out of the group to like sleeper. I don't know, one of these times ago that we went to bed at like 4 or 5, and then I woke up at like 7, and I thought I heard a woman whisper, and I was like, my ears just perked up. I was wide awake again, and I'm out there investigating, by myself while everybody else is snoozing. I'm usually the first one up when it comes to those type, so I don't normally sleep very much while we're there, but then get me home and I'm on the couch and I'm out. So
I can think of one time I've woken up and you were asleep. Every other time, you're always awake.
I never sleep at places ever. I mean, it could be 3 hours away.
That's part of the experience, though, really.
yeah.
I like my bed. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I like my house. So there's been plenty, like Trans-Allegheny, 6-hour drive. We drive down, investigate, drive back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way we are. Yeah, NSPS TV's on. He's a big believer in graveyards. He told me that I need to go down to Texas and do this graveyard. They actually, to get into his group, you have to do a solo in a graveyard.
Heck yeah.
Oh, easy peasy.
No, but then it gets okay. Graveyards, I do have to say, it is, because it's not just the spirits, you're outside, you got animals, you got other crazy people, so that part I think is the scariest to me. Like,
Yeah.
I would, if it was just spirits and I didn't have to worry about anything like that, any of the other things, I would totally be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last one we went to, where we were in the pet cemetery, it was like the southwest corner, and there was a neighborhood over there, and it just, it was a weekend night, things were popping off, and you're not worried about the dead ones, you're worried about the alive ones. So
I mean, we always are. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, I think that's why we do paranormal, because it's easier and less scary talking to the dead than the living.
mm-hmm.
So I know Heather's answer about solos. Chris, are you a solo person, or?
I haven't done it nearly as much as Heather, but I am willing. Yes.
Okay.
Especially now. I don't know. It's not like I've been doing this for ages. It's just been over a year, but I feel like I'm this old pro. Like, it takes a lot to rattle me. I don't know.
Again, you want that. I mean, I think you're trying to get that, I don't want to say high, but you want to get that fear back, a little bit, because I mean, fear does suck, but it's kind of a cool feeling when you face it. And
Yeah, my first one was at Garnett, and they're this toy, this little, I call it the Weeble Wobble, that Justin has in the house. It looks like it's this thing looks like it's from the 1800s as well. It looks as old as the house does. And it was the first thing, I mean, it got all of us because there's a lot of poltergeist activity there. And it did this thing and it was super aggressive, where it slammed down to the floor and came back up, and it's on one of those bases where it's supposed to always stay up. And so then we all just screamed like girls. And I think that has to be is my first time investigating. That was probably my most fearful moment, and also most exciting, probably.
Well, and to add to that, because that first night that we went, that we all were there together, that was also when there's a fire truck in the attic room or the ladder room. We're all we'd all been walking through that house, however long, and we're all standing in that room looking toward the stairs because one of us hears something coming up the stairs. Our main focus is there, and all of a sudden that dang fire truck rolls right in between our legs.
Yep.
Which of course made us all jump. But
Yes.
that, to me, that's what makes it fun, is when little surprises happen like that too.
Yeah, it's exciting. Oh, what do I got here? So, yeah, so I'm going to Dallas House next week. I'm trying to do a new like episode thing. I love creepy basements. I love dirty basements. So I'm going there early, like 6 p.m. I'm gonna do a 4-hour solo in the basement.
Nice.
I have
Good
RC Paranormal's coming later in the day, later that night. So once I get there, I might come up out of the basement. But I just want to go around the country and find creepy basements. I don't know why.
So, Beatty Mansion has a
Yep.
creepy basement, and Sleeper Mortuary has a very creepy basement. So add those to your list.
Okay. I just want to go around. Like I'm not going to even walk through the house. I'm not doing a tour. I'm going straight to the basement and I'm starting my investigation. The owner says that there is something bad down there. So I want to go find it. Hopefully, I mean, I've never been scratched. I've never been pushed. Everybody says they want to. I don't want to be scratched or pushed. But if it happens, it happens too. So,
You know, speaking of scratches, I heard a very interesting theory on scratches that they're not bad.
I heard that the other day. What was about that? I don't remember.
It's just a way that they're trying to communicate with you and showing you that they're there. Just another, even pushing. I mean, like sometimes, just like with people, right? I mean, they were people, so you can push somebody because you're being mean and trying to, whatever. But maybe that's just them. That's how they can communicate. That's the only way they know how.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't mean to hurt you. It's just the only way they know. Or maybe that takes a lot of energy to really show you that, like, hey, I'm right here. Like, because it gets your attention instantly, right? You're like, dang, like that hurt, and then
Yeah. Why is there always 3 scratches?
It's not always. I've seen one where I've seen somewhere it's just one.
Yep.
One little scratch across the back of the neck or the arm or
The
now.
cat.
So 3 scratches might be something a little weird, but not. I don't think scratches are always weird, or bad.
Especially when you get into like, not to me because I'm a bigger guy, but like a mom, a female, like kids.
Mm-hmm.
They want your attention. Kids stay away from me because I'm a bigger dude and I look angry all the time, I guess. I don't know. That's what my daughter's friends tell me. So, but like you're inviting. So, kid spirits, if you believe in kid spirits, that's a theory out there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like tugging your shirt or maybe like scratching or
Yep.
whatever. My niece had that at Ross House where we're by where the Underground Railroad was, and supposedly 3 kids are down there, and she just felt someone tugging her shirt the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just get attention. Like if someone's tugging your shirt and you're not paying attention, what are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Tug
Reach
some
up
more.
and
Yeah.
or they're reaching up and trying to grab you and just happens to come across as a scratch, Definitely.
Andy, okay. So what do you think about kid spirits? I mean, a lot of theories out there. A lot of people believe there's no such thing as kid spirits. It's always something else portraying itself as a kid. I don't think people don't want to believe kids can be trapped here. Not trapped. I mean, that's my aim, but stuck in between.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's sad. But
Well, it's not always intelligent too. I mean, you can get residual sounds, I mean, I think we did at Garnett one time. We left.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah, we left our recorder up there, and as we go over every month and help Justin keep the place clean, and so do a little investigating while we're there. And we popped out for a second and left the recorder and came back, listened to it later, and it sounds like children playing. Mind you, it was like 20 degrees outside. It was cold, but it sounded like a whole schoolyard of kids playing. That there was nobody outside when we got there, like no indication that children were anywhere near the building, and you can hear it plain as day.
Mhm.
Krista was over down there thinking, like,
It is something that I think about all the time. I have my belief system, and I can understand why people don't want to believe that there are earth, connected children's spirits. Um, and I compare it with like the other parts of my belief system. And that's the thing is I think when I started doing this, I'm like, man, I really want to get some of those answers. And because people be like, why are the sudden are you doing this? And I'm like, I've always been interested, and I just want to find some answers. But then when you do this, you just end up with more and more questions. So I honestly don't know how I feel about it. I want to think that like these younger minded spirits are attached to the earth, because you think of kids and you think, okay, well, it's not their choice then. Like, and do I believe that either? Not really. So I don't know.
it's hard. I mean, because you hoping that they're not here, that they moved on. I mean, is it possible a kid's looking for its mom?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get that Trans Allegheny, there's a girl there that walks around, and that's what they say they're, looking for their mom. So
Do you think it's residual? Or have you had like intelligent responses with that particular?
I've never had any response from that area, but they're saying it's intelligent.
Okay.
So yeah,
The
that's
mom
right.
in me wants to be like, come here.
I know.
Yeah.
That would probably kill me. Next thing you know, she'd be coming home with me.
I mean, spirit world, how much do you think is residual compared to intelligent?
Like percentage wise, I mean,
Just throw a number out there from your experience.
30% is residual.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends where you go. Like Gettysburg, I think a lot of it's residual.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, people at work, I work with a lot of people too, will tell me they had experiences in their house. And it's not all the time. I always tell them, get a piece of paper, put next to your bed or wherever, and write down the time, date, and month and day. It could be like, it's always that woman walking down the hallway. I saw a woman walking down my hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Write the time down you saw it, because it could be just a residual tape recorder that's playing.
Yep. Energy leaves an imprint.
Yes. And that was a question from my last podcast. What is energy?
Everything is energy.
Yeah, I would, like, can you? That sounds like a really good definition right there. Everything, because you can't. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to like formulate it in a scientific. It's everything.
Yeah, and it never ends.
That's what we got. That's what we came up with after like 20 minutes. Someone put everything's energy. Right, there's our answer.
Look at Carissa, just bam.
5 seconds. Good.
It just doesn't end. It can transfer into something else. It can go into something else, but it doesn't end.
Yes. Oh, the Aurora Brothel's on.
Hi.
We will see you next year.
Yes.
I've seen so much about the Aurora Brothel. Intriguing place.
Yeah, definitely. That's why we were like, okay, 2026.
You kind of have to go. I mean, I haven't been there. Not going to say it's on my bucket list, but it's very intriguing that I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's funny because it was just today that you told me, because that was on my list of I want to go there. And then Heather today is like, hey, what are you doing? And and I'm like, nothing. Where are we going?
Here it was 5 a.m. and I'm like, I want to go to the Aurora Brothel. I'm booking it now.
I watched the videos that everybody posts about Robrafa. I don't want to look into it too much because I'll be you, just booking it, and I'll probably end up doing it anyways. But whatever.
You should.
Yeah. People ask questions, I lose my train of thought there.
It's okay.
So we're talking about residual energy, kids, blah blah.
I have the ghosties with mosties.
Those are the best.
I had a really good question too.
It'll circle back.
It will circle back.
Either that or you're going to wake up at midnight and be like, dang, that's the question that I wanted to ask. I hate that.
Yeah, I have no idea what it was, so we'll just move on. Now I have no idea where we're going.
Have you been to the McIntyre Villa yet?
I've never even heard of it.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. It's on all of the ghost shows. Like if you go on YouTube and top 10 places and blah blah blah, it's on most of those lists. So it'd be well worth the trip.
What is it
Even
called?
The McIntyre Villa in
Mhm.
Atchison. Even if you were to, you know how we're talking about some places, you just, because you can't expect activity every single time you go, everywhere you go, whatever. We've always had really good stuff come out of this house, but even if you go just to go, Stephanie has done an amazing job. I mean, to think that she purchased this house and it was completely empty to now what it looks like now, it's beautiful. She's spent so much time and energy in collecting very pretty ornate furniture to go into it and just making a whole atmosphere that you just thrive. It's a great place.
And the spirits there, they have their own vibe. You know, every place has their own vibe, but the spirits of this, if you looked into they can get really sarcastic. They're funny. They will correct you. They will correct your grammar. They will correct you if you say the date wrong, a name wrong. EVPs are very prominent. They're not hard to get. And if she knows you, like she knows us and she knows we're not going to steal anything, but she has her DR60 and she'll leave it with us because we don't have $2,000 to spend on a DR60. But it's you are guaranteed to get an EVP there. I mean,
oh yeah. Screams, yells. We've heard whistles just with our own ears. And there was no question about like, what's that nose? Where did that come from? Who was that? That wasn't you? You know, it was very close by, but it was not any one of us that just did that. So, I watched a balloon one time. This was kind of going back into family because you know how you said your wife is kind of like, oh, you're doing that again. Well, my husband was like that too for a really long time, but I finally talked him into going to the villa with me one time, and I think he was kind of he's a skeptic, but he I think he did believe. He just needed that little push. I think he got it there. We were on the second floor in the hallway, and she'll air up some, helium balloons, kind of place them around, whatever. They're fun to watch sometimes. Well, this balloon, he's sitting at the end, and all of a sudden he turns his flashlight on the stairwell, and he's like, "There's a balloon coming up the stairs." I'm like, "What?" So I peek around, and it's literally lifting up in the middle of the staircase, gets to the top, proceeds to go down the hallway at an even, usually with helium balloons, if it's being pushed by wind, the air, whatever, it's kind of does a little dance, as it goes. No, this was very steady all the way down the hall, gets to a point in the hall where there's a little archway where it comes down a little lower, gets to that arch, lowers, and then proceeds to go forward more. That was probably one of the coolest things I've ever witnessed there. But then the dang thing just disappears. I thought it went into the children's room at the end of the hall. We're looking around. I look up. There's the stairs that go up to the attic down at the end. I'm looking everywhere. I come back upstairs thinking maybe I missed. It's in the middle of the attic landing. That would have been in plain sight. I'm like, I stood right there. It wasn't there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. You got to go.
Definitely. I remember my question now. Beliefs. You talked about beliefs before. So I don't want to say what you do for protection, but like, what are your what beliefs do you have for like protection going into a place? Do you
We,
have anything?
yeah, I mean, I think like spiritually, we're probably all a little bit different, but one of the things that we do when we go into a place now is we meditate together. And it kind of depends on what the location is and what kind of space we're going to have. Who are we with? You know, it might be just 5 minutes if we can fit that in, or it might be, 25 minutes. But we use that time to set our intentions and to center ourselves and, open ourselves up to where we want to be. But I think a lot of the protection is in intentions
Yeah,
and what you'll allow.
absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing people always ask that aren't into this is, are you scared of attachment, negative energy? And I always said, if you have positive energy, I think you kind of put a force field around yourself with that
100%.
negative energy. I'm a big believer positivity spreads positivity. Negative can invite stuff in that you did not want. How many people, you guys see on TV shows that are very negative people that have a lot of stuff happen to them?
Yep.
So I always tell people just be positive and have a good time. Majority, 99.9% of these spirits just want to talk. If they even want to talk, they just want to be heard.
I think it's important as a group that anytime that we have folks that are going with us to an investigation, like Heather says, with the work group that's to spirit, we have our regulars and stuff, but I think it's important for us to notice, like if someone negative would come along with us, that is something that we'd really we haven't had to do that, but we would need to put that in check real quick. And I mean, even all of us, each other, if we're at a point in our lives where we're going through something really tough and we're not in the best headspace, then that is not necessarily the activity we should be doing at that time.
Yep, definitely.
No, last few days on Facebook, there's been a couple people out there that saying they're taking a step back for a little bit because stuff has happened in their life, and I'm glad to see that they're realizing that and taking a step back. Could be a week, could be a month, who knows?
Right.
Yep.
I said, get in the right headspace.
Absolutely. It's important to take breaks when you need to take breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have been known to throw in a little, which I think this kind of goes with intentions. But when I don't notice we do this all that much anymore, but in the beginning, it was when we leave, we're like, came alone, we're leaving alone. You got to stay. You can't come with me. Just like kind of setting that boundary right there out loud vocally, because it kind of like puts you in that mindset too, and kind of like builds that invisible, barrier that nothing's coming home.
Yeah, I've heard some weird stuff, like, the whole paperclip thing. I've never even heard about this before.
What is that?
Yeah, trust me. I don't know if you want to know because it's out there. It's a safety pin. So you take a safety pin when you leave and you're driving home solo, you safety pin it on the passenger seat. Then when you're halfway home, you throw it out the window. I don't know if you're like pinning the spirit to the chair and throwing it out the window as you leave.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
Like a dog.
You can't come with me. You got to stay, because in a way that's kind of doing the same thing, except you're littering.
I'm like, people just come up with weird stuff. Again, if it makes them feel good and feel comfortable, again, it's a belief that's helping them.
Yeah.
I'll buy you some paper clips. I'm cool with that. But, I've never really done say, hey, stay here. You're not welcome to go home with me. People in my group have. I've had people with crystals, sage, that whole stuff. People do. But talking to a lot of groups now, doing this show, is their beliefs are more coming out. Hey, my religious belief is what protects me. It's not the sage or the crystals. I know there's still a lot of people sage and crystals out there. I'm not one of them. But again, if you believe in that, I'm cool with it. I have crystals in my room. Someone gave me crystals. They said one will call to you. They've been up there 6 months. Not one's called to me yet. I look at them every time I come in my podcast room, like doing the whole like feeling around, like where's the energy? Nothing yet. Maybe one day one will call to me and I will carry it around.
Well, it's like, when you were talking about energy, I do believe that everything has energy to some degree. And I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think that for,
What'd you
we,
say?
you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
What the hell is that? I
Say,
never even heard of that.
yeah, so you don't just throw everything out. You can take what's meaningful. And I think like what Heather was saying too is that I do think that different crystals and stuff, I do believe that they can carry energy. And now, is it something I use for like self protection or anything? That's not my thing. I do have some. And sage, I think that there's something to that too, that maybe the spirits, maybe there's something with negative spirits where you light that up and you have that smoke, and there's something about it that, you know, I don't know, that they don't like, and it pushes them away. I don't know, but I just feel like your personal spiritual beliefs has a lot of impact. We're also spirits. We still have our body right now. We're still in an avatar, but we are the same. And hopefully, we'll make better decisions when we pass. I don't even think staying earthbound's necessarily even a bad decision. I don't think it's a bad decision. I think people have unfinished business, or I don't know. And sometimes maybe they've crossed over and they visit a lot. I don't know, but now we're just going all over the place. Sorry.
I'm just picturing you throwing a baby out in bathwater now. I don't know.
That's why I'm saying you don't do that.
Welcome to the Midwest.
I think sage crystals, it's your belief.
Yeah.
If you actually believe that's what helps, your intention, your positive energy of that working is what protects you.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's what it is, I'm game for it.
100%.
I always say people wear crucifixes that aren't religious because their mom wore it, and that's what they want to believe that protects them.
Yep.
As long as you have that belief, I think you're fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you want to carry a rock around in your pocket, carry a rock around in your pocket. It doesn't bother me.
Yep.
My whole thing with crystals is what are spirits' energy? Like, what do spirits feed off of? Energy.
Yep.
Right? Crystals are energy. So if you're carrying a crystal, you're giving spirits more energy. That's my theory on it.
Mm. I have them. I think they're pretty, but I haven't gravitated. I don't charge them under the moonlight and all that stuff. They're just there.
Are they with your haunted dolls?
Don't
no.
tell me haunted dolls.
She's in the case. Do you want to see her, Ryan?
Yeah, sure. I'm
Okay.
game.
Un momento.
I might have a haunted doll in my house. We're not sure yet.
Did you put a cat ball by them and talk to them?
It's locked in the attic right now.
Good Lord. Poor spirit.
It's been a while. It's been locked up there.
I'm sure they can get out if they want to.
I do want to do an investigation with it, but someone can't be home when I do it. So.
Yeah, same. Ready?
You got a non-haunted doll.
I have a non-haunted doll. She is porcelain. I have not done a little investigating on her, but nothing super, super extensive. She did go with us to Sleeper Mortuary and the Villa a couple times. But being a parent too, I'm they always say, don't investigate your house, so I don't know if I want to really talk to her in my house, especially having a little one. who knows? You just don't know. So I'm like, but then you run into the struggle when you take her to locations where you're trying to talk to her, but everybody else wants to come in too. So that's a struggle.
All right, so you have a haunted doll in your house, but you don't want to talk to it. It's already there.
Yeah, she just sits there and looks pretty. And I
Okay.
say hi to her as I walk by.
I'm just playing, just asking questions. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I was telling her, it's possible I have one in my house.
Mhm.
It was my daughter's when she was younger. It's like pretty tall doll. And I was playing Xbox one night and I heard a laugh. But that's when Alexa used to do that goofy laugh every now and then back in the day. So I thought it was my Alexa. Turn around, I'm like, whatever. 5 minutes later, this freaking laugh goes again. I'm like, I'm turning this Alexa off. I'm unplugging this damn thing. Walk over there, it's unplugged. Look down, freaking doll's looking at me. I think that was 13 years ago, and it's been locked in the attic ever since.
Like some Chucky stuff.
Yeah. I was like, no, this ain't happening. So yeah, it's up in the attic. I do want to bring it out, and me and my friend are going to do a podcast with it. We're going to do a podcast first, have some equipment out without the doll here, then we'll bring the doll in, and we're just going to BS and see what happens. I mean, that's all it is.
Mhm.
I don't know if something does happen, what's going to happen to that thing, but
You're going to throw it in the trash and then it's going to end up on your couch.
Yep.
The next day.
Again, I'm not scared of dolls. I'm not scared of clowns. I think the doll thing is blown up.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I think mainly because of these places we go to. How many dolls can you fit in one house? Like, every time I go back to Madison, there's like 50 more dolls. Like, come on, dude. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
The Villa and Garnett are full of them too.
yeah. Have you heard of the murder dolls?
The murder dolls?
No.
No.
I have not looked into this, but I have heard it from a few people that there are dolls that witnessed a murder, and now they do sell them online.
Interesting.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, is it cool? No, it's not cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there we go. It's interesting.
I mean, someone came up with an idea, and maybe it was a cop walked in his house, and this creepy clown doll was staring down where a body was, and was like, oh, I probably can sell this. Witnessed a murder. I don't know.
Interesting. There are
Chris,
people that sell dolls too that have like been in haunted houses.
yeah.
Yeah.
So was it MT Paranormal I had on in the beginning of the year? Like June? I think it's MT. Yeah, McKenna.
Mhm.
She has a lot of haunted dolls. So a little iffy about the whole podcast in the beginning. I told her that, so I don't mind saying it. Like, this girl talks to dolls. I don't know what's going to happen with this podcast, but I'm interested in it. It was a great podcast. Like, they go on Etsy and buy dolls, haunted dolls. And she's like, you just keep looking at pictures until you get a connection. Then the next day you go back, the next day, and then sooner or later, that doll's haunted. I'm like, okay, I guess it's no different than someone looking in a room and saying, yeah, this place is off.
You get a vibe.
You get a
Yeah.
vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have haunted dolls, Carissa?
No.
Do you believe in haunted dolls? You're not going to hurt Heather's feelings. So, yeah.
No, yes and no. I don't feel like the spirits are like trapped in the objects. I think that they can have a fascination with an object, or say they had owned it at one point and it had been their favorite thing, and there's that imprint there, and they kind of, I don't know, stick with it. But I also think that your intentions create a lot of what happens, and if you are Like, we know another paranormal team, Jocelyn. I think she's got 101 now
Mhm.
dolls, and she has her purple room where she keeps them. And I think that, with her intention to be able to find them, I think those spirits know that and communicate with her on that level. So are they already in the doll? I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious as to, I've never asked her what she thought about that, but or is it that her intention of what she's looking for and what she's interested in, that they kind of stick around with this doll to communicate with her, and then they're there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about like it's a vessel,
Mhm.
so it's possible they're using the dolls as a vessel, and
Yeah.
then Heather, buying the nun doll, like getting attention now, and so that's where the spirit's at. Can
Mhm.
it leave that doll? Probably, but why would it?
Well, and her nun doll, I can't say where we were, is, we're not allowed to on some locations, otherwise we don't get to investigate there. But we also had another team who, there's a medium in that team. I won't say any names, but they were at this location with us, and we were doing our thing and they were doing their thing. And I can't remember that. I always forget, but they provided the name of Heather's doll, like the spirit that's attached to that doll,
Yeah,
and
she
they knew
brought
about it. We had not discussed it at all in front of this person. She was just like, "Who has? What did she say? Who has the nun doll? Who has it? Who has the nun?" We're like, "What?" And
she's
so,
under Estes and says all this, but then afterward it was like, everybody looks at me as soon as she starts talking about a nun, and I'm like, oh crap, I just got her not that long before that. So, and then afterwards she's like, who has the nun doll? I'm like, me.
yeah.
We're gonna end this soon because we're an hour and 37 minutes in. I said it never lasts an hour. But what drew you to the nun doll?
Um, I like creepy things. I am a creepy girl, and so
She
her
is.
her little creepy cracked face really is what drew me to her. And I'm very fascinated too by, I love horror movies, and the ones that I really love are the ones that deal with like the battle between good and evil. So like, of course I love the movie The Nun and all the Conjuring movies and all of that. Like, so just in that aesthetic, I was just instantly drawn to her. And she wasn't even advertised as haunted. She just looked really creepy to me and was instantly drawn. I was like, yeah, I need that. And so then, of course, I bring her in, and my husband's like, what are you doing? What is that?
What is that? Creepy nun. Does creepy nun have a name?
Well, we did get the name, but I always want to call her Evangeline, but I don't think it's Evangeline.
No, it was like some French name. That's why I can't ever remember.
See, that's why I think my mind always goes to Evangeline.
We'd have to go listen to the recording.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, she just sits in my china hutch. And like I said, I just talk to her as I walk by.
Aurora said, "Oh, Heather, you're gonna love my moody voodies."
Oh, yay!
That's cool.
No, yeah, I just love creepy things. So I was instantly drawn.
A lot of people know this about me already, but I am not a huge Halloween person and a horror movie person. And in fact, I've never seen a Conjuring movie. I am the abnormal paranormal investigator.
I'm really in the middle. Heather definitely takes the cake for creepy, and not just our group, but most groups, I think. She's amazing for it. But I'm more in the middle. I do like some scary movies, but and I like Halloween, but she definitely goes deep. She runs, the ERG at work. She posts something fascinating every day, and she has no problem finding the material, I think, just because of how her mind works.
Talk about murders on Monday, trivia, crazy trivia on Tuesdays, WTF Wednesdays, where I give some crazy fact that makes people say, WTF. Where did you find that? Yeah. Yeah, we tried a little experiment actually in the Garnett house where we watched The Conjuring. We have a projector and hung up a sheet and watched the movie because I was like, I wonder what, like, because they do like an exorcism in the movie. I was like, I wonder what that would it stir anything up?
We watched White Chicks first.
We did.
It's interesting. And spirits are probably like, what are they doing? Like,
These crazy girls.
yeah, these crazy girls. It's not how it is.
Great, they're back. That's how I feel like every time we walk in that door. They're like, now they're back. All right, I guess we gotta go talk to them.
Like, one of my favorite freaky, I guess, horror. I don't call it a horror movie where people under their stairs. I don't know why. I love it. But that might have been like the last semi-horror movie, and that was like in the 80s I watched.
Well, there's been some good ones since then, too.
Yeah, it's hard because I love true crime. And if it's not 100%, true, I don't like watching stuff. So same with reading books. All right, well.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm weird. It's okay.
We all are. The best people are.
We'll answer Aurora Brothel's question. What's your favorite equipment? We went over this, but you can say it again since you're going out there.
Yeah.
Heather loves the dead bell. Was that your first piece, Heather?
No, my first one was the SB7.
Okay.
Spear box, but the bell is definitely a hit, and then of course the tripwires. Love tripwires.
Yeah. And I really like all the simple equipment the best, but as far as the expensive stuff goes, the tripwires, yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Dowsing rods?
Yes.
Carissa does love the dowsing rod. She's very good at that. I feel like you kind of find your niche with, certain, and those are definitely hers.
Yeah. Definitely. I want to get back into them. I kind of went away from them because you start buying expensive equipment and you're like, why am I doing dowsing rods? I got this 400 piece of equipment over here I want to use. But
definitely at McIntyre Villa too. They are so responsive. They're like, we were just in what we call Goldie's room. That's the one piece of furniture that Stephanie had, was the chair that Goldie died in that house. And anyway, that chair's in that room, and we're sitting in a circle on the couches and using the dowsing rods and saying, hey, point to Heather. It points to Heather. Hey, point to Belle, point to Sarah. And I mean, it was just on point every time. And it's so, it's kind of a two-way street, for that to work. And they have to be willing, and you have to be in a good headspace for it. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to end this show here. First of all, I appreciate you girls coming on. That was great.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Get to know you a little bit about Kansas a little bit.
Yeah, if you're ever in the area and want to hit up the villa or sleeper for that creepy basement, just let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I head that way, or you guys head halfway this way, we can try to get something going on there.
Definitely.
I'm going to watch your stuff on Aurora Brothel coming up. And I've watched a few of your videos. Keeping up with Facebook, social media is like a full-time job.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I try to like everybody's stuff. But hey, thanks, Donna. Always a pleasure having you on. Ask a question next time. She's always on Donna. Yeah, no. She's like my go-to person. I know she's always going to be on. So, again, thanks for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you. And I always say keep being you, because you guys are doing it right, having fun. That's what it's all about. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. I tell everybody, you guys have big events coming up, do whatever. You want to come back on, it's for 20 minutes just to say, hey, this is what's going on, or this is what happened. Just send me an email, and get you back on.
Cool.
Awesome.
right.
Good. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Cool.
Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.